Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, July 31st, and we're back with another daily live stream. I think today would be 6 in a row, which is kind of crazy that I've been doing this every day now. Anyway, hello, everyone. If you noticed at the beginning of the live stream, if you want to get your name on the intro, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. You can hit the join button if you want to help support. I think there's also a link in the description if that might be helpful. Anyway, welcome everyone. Nice to see everyone. Jordan 23, Andreas, Nina, Aisha, Birdie, Spike, Joe, Pixie. Hello, welcome. If you've noticed, I'm wearing Cubs gear today. Somebody asked me yesterday if I'm a Cubs or a Sox fan. I was born and raised on the north side of Chicago, still live in the north side, and still repping the Cubs. Notice this hat. This is my Finally Fasting hat. Matches with the Cubs. Anyway, hello, everyone. So today is day 634 of my fasting journey. That's a lot of days doing this. And remember, it isn't just about fasting. This is my health and wellness journey. This is me aiming for one goal: to be happy and continuously healthy in the best way that I can. Here's the thing, though. Today is July 31st, 2025, and I am wondering, and you be honest with me, either here in the chat or maybe in the comments if you watch this later, but are any of you waiting for August 1st to start? Have you told yourself, you know what? August 1st is right around the corner, and even though it's on a Thursday, that's when I'm going to start. I'm going to start my journey August 1st because it's the first of the month. It's a good way to start. I've counted the days, and that's going to be my starting day. And I get it. I've been there. I've done and played that game of it's August 1st. There's going to be X amount of days before X, Y, and Z. And that's when I'm going to start. And that's fine if that's what you are planning on or intending to do. But hopefully you don't do that every single month, September or October or November. Starting over, day oneing everything, living that all or nothing, having that living that all or nothing mentality, having that black and white mentality. It's just a vicious cycle that hopefully you can find yourself getting out of. Now, remember, I am doing daily live streams now because I need accountability. I have realized that doing this every day is not only helpful for me to make sure that I'm on my game, but it reminds me when I'm not here that I can't just run away from my problems, escape it in ordering food, because I know that these daily live streams, I have to be accountable and show up. And that accountability goes both ways. If you're here right now and you think it's really important to show accountability, maybe share with us in the chat how things are going. I've already seen some of the chat here saying where they're at and what they're doing. So if that's helpful for you, please feel free. And I don't mean to say it saying, don't just come in here and tell us when you're doing well. Don't just come in here and tell us when you have completed an extended fast. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Kudos to you. Congratulations to you. Amazing for you. But at the same time, can you come and show up even when you're struggling? Because maybe that's when you need the accountability even more. I say this to people that I coach all the time. When you're doing well, you'll fill the data out. You'll hit your timer. You'll let me know. And I love that for you. But when you're struggling, will you show up? Can you share the ups and the downs? Maggie May asks, hi, Jerome. I finally made it to alive. I appreciate the support. Thank you. How much water do you drink during a fast? I don't even count how much water I drink. Honestly, I just drink when I'm thirsty. So if I had to guess, I don't know, 4 to 6 glasses of water. And that's including other liquids. If I'm having an iced coffee or a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero, I don't really drink a lot of Diet Coke lately. I drink Coke Zero more than anything else. On my refeed days, I drink a lot more. Just FYI. Thank you for the question, though. So just to refresh people's memories, why am I doing daily live streams? What happened? Let's go through this again. In the last, starting back in the 3rd week or so of June, I gained about 30 pounds in less than 5 weeks. I went from pretty much 140 pounds to 170 pounds. How did this happen? Well, I went to Toronto, and I believe that was sometime in June. I think it was right at the beginning. And then I had like a week later, I had 6 back-to-back eating days, a lot of mindless eating, a lot of just eating kind of out of control. And then another week passes by, and then I had 7 back-to-back eating days where I ended up binging for the first time in 624 days. And I really pushed up my weight then. I've been saying this since my last live stream on Sunday daily. Why did I mindlessly eat? Why did I emotionally eat? Why did I stress eat? Why did I end up binging? If you haven't been around in the last couple of days, I've already told people every single day lately, but I'm moving. I'm not just moving out of this apartment. I'm not just moving out of this city, out of this state. I'm moving to a different country. And with that comes a lot of things on my to-do list. And I ended up feeling overwhelmed. And in the last couple of weeks, I have just been using food to I've been using food to ignore and forget the laundry list of things that I've had to do. And now I'm playing a catch-up game of, okay, I got to get all this shit done. I got to make sure I'm taking care of myself and doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And I've said this as well, but action is a lot better than inaction. And I'm just glad that those 2 days of binging and those weeks of overeating didn't turn into months, didn't turn into years. And that I'm here showing accountability and being as transparent as I can be, because it's helpful for me to have that transparency, show that accountability, because it really keeps me in check. And like I said, if that's helpful for you, please share with us. Create a community with the other people in here. Encourage each other. That's pretty much how I envision these live streams to be. Adrian says, do you cook for yourself, Jerome? Yes. And if so, how do you balance your home cooked food versus takeout meals when you're on ADFs? So for me, the way this works is I will only eat out if I'm usually going out with friends or family, or I have to go to a family thing. That's pretty much how I do it now. For the most part, I am not trying to eat by myself if I'm going out to eat. One of the reasons, though, that that's helpful for me is I really enjoy being able to cook for myself because I'm cooking things I actually want to eat, that I enjoy. Remember, your journey, if you want this to be sustainable, you have to do things that don't feel like torture every single day. Yes, there are going to be times you're going to feel discomfort. There are times you're going to be uncomfortable. Those are times for growth. Today, for example, I'm fasting. I mean, it's not so much discomfort because doing alternate day fasting for me is pretty easy. And I don't mean to say that in a braggadocious type way. I just know that fasting is something I'm pretty good at. But when it comes to eating out or doing takeout, it really only happens now when I'm with other people. The times I do takeout by myself are usually the times that I'm doing out of control eating, mindless eating, or binging. Something I've noticed about myself. I'm trying to think of other times when I go out to eat by myself, but for the most part, everything is being cooked at home at this point. And it's also because, like I said, I enjoy the foods that I eat. I also like knowing that I'm putting the things I want in my dishes. Also, just everything is so expensive. So thanks for the question, Adrian. Okay, so let's get back into the nerd stats. I've now talked about what day of my journey I'm on, how I ended up gaining all this weight, and why I'm doing these daily live streams. And so, what have I been doing? Fasting, obviously. And I said this yesterday, but I have dropped almost 18 pounds in a week doing 40-ish hour fasts. Started with a 43 hour and then another 43 hour and then a 44 hour. And then yesterday I completed a 46-hour fast. The last four, oh, actually, this average fast should be higher up now. I didn't add the newest time in there. I will update that. But currently I'm averaging around 43, 44 hours per fast, losing 18 pounds in about a week. And again, a reminder, I didn't lose 18 pounds of fat in a week. I also didn't gain 30 pounds of fat in 5 weeks. A lot of that weight is water weight, waste. I just want people to understand that if you have a refeed day and you're eating even the cleanest of foods, and then you notice the scale push up 2, 3, 4 pounds, don't worry about it. A lot of that is water weight. What you should be doing is taking care of what you know is good and healthy for you. If you practice better habits, if you incorporate healthy habits, that number is going to push itself down. Do not worry so much about it. You know what's more important is showing up and being accountable. And if I'm doing this every single day and sharing with you pretty much every moment of what I'm doing and being as transparent and accountable as possible, my hope is you can do the same and join these live streams and let us know in the chat. Joe asks, if I may ask, do you think that moving will make your fasting journey easier or more challenging? I mean, that's a really good question. And I think for me, I think I don't want to say it's going to be more challenging, but I believe it will be. I will be in a new place, in a new environment. I won't have the same people that are around me. It's going to be different to navigate. And we'll see what that looks like. That's still a couple months from now. Like I said, I told everyone that I am moving, and I wasn't really going to tell people I was going to be moving until much later, but I wanted people to understand why I started overeating and why I ended up binging. Because even though I have to be out of this apartment in less than a month, I still have to be living somewhere else in the interim before I end up moving out of the country later in the year. So again, I'm not moving next month. I mean, I will be moving, but I will still be here in the States and we'll be moving later in the year. Like I said, I didn't want to be sharing that right away, but you were all going to find out anyway. Once you see this TV get pulled off the wall and this couch is gone and these Blu-rays and books are off the shelves, people are eventually going to ask questions. So I refed yesterday, and refeed days are some of my favorite days. Why? Because I get to eat. And I did this the other day, and I'm going to do this again today. I will share with you all what I refed with. I do this because, again, I want to be as transparent and honest as possible. So let's get into it. That is not the screen I wanted to show. There we go. There's the screen I wanted to show. So yesterday, after finishing a 46-hour fast, I have my thing up here. It was 46 hours and 12 minutes. I broke with broccoli and shrimp. I did this on my last refeed, and honestly, I've been doing this on almost every refeed at this point. Broccoli, shrimp, garlic, a bunch of seasonings. Really easy to make. One of the reasons that I do prepare this meal is because it's very low in calories. It has a lot of protein, and there's a lot of volume when it comes to the food. That is the next thing I'm eating, but oops, there we go. So almost every refeed lately, broccoli and shrimp has been one of my go-tos. I don't know if it's going to be like that for a while. Hopefully they have those foods in the Philippines. I'm sure they have shrimp, but broccoli, shrimp, garlic, really easy to make, super easy to prepare. I just buy broccoli in a frozen bag, microwave that. When that's finished, I throw it in the pan with the shrimp that I've been cooking in garlic, salt, pepper, onion powder. That's pretty much it. And I share this with you because maybe it's something that you might want to do, something that's super quick and easy, low calorie, high protein, high volume. Why does high volume matter? Why does low calorie matter? Because it's more volume of food, right? I do it because I typically eat 5, 6, 7,000 calories to feel satiated. And this is me trying to hack the system, giving myself more food volume. And that's why I season it really well too, because I have to enjoy it. It has to taste good for me. So let's get back into this video. After my shrimp and broccoli, I ate about a pound of Brussels sprouts. These were cooked really, really well. If you know me by now, Brussels sprouts are one of my favorite things to eat. Again, seasoned really well. I ate about a pound of it. And like a pound of Brussels sprouts ends up being like, I don't know, 150 calories. It's barely any calories. Again, one of my favorite things to eat on my refeeds. I forgot. It was so hot. Let your food cool down, everyone. Just FYI. So after that, I had this main meal. Now, I prepared something different. Let me just play it for a little bit so you see. This is, I ended up making lean ground beef. Normally, I've been buying ground turkey because it's lower calorie and you get more to eat. But I wanted to try lean ground beef, and I wasn't a fan. I bought 96% lean and 4% fat, and it wasn't what I enjoyed. I made this with mushrooms, cherry tomatoes, I put peas in there. And then just other seasoning, but I was just not thrilled with the taste of it. It was okay. I still ate it. I didn't eat all of it. I ended up eating it with or on top of a bed of rice. The rice is always good. Can't complain when it comes to that, but that was my main meal. I'll wait till what I ate after. Again, I do this for transparency so you see what I eat and you understand how this journey has been going for me. I had 2 bananas after that. Bananas are some of my favorite fruits. It's probably my favorite fruit. I don't think there's a fruit I eat more than bananas. I do like pineapples though. And then I do like mangoes. Yellow mangoes, I think, are really good. But had 2 bananas. And then afterwards, I'm trying to think of what I had. I'll just wait for the video. I made pudding. This pudding is an entire packet of sugar-free cheesecake pudding. I used chocolate protein powder. I added protein milk. I had non-fat yogurt. And I think that's it. You can see this pudding is really, really thick. It was okay. I think I should have put a little more milk in it. It was a little too thick, and I think it tasted a little too artificial, but I still ate the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. If it's something sweet, I'm going to eat it. I have very much a sweet tooth, and I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't eat that whole bowl because I definitely did. And then to end the night, it's hard when I talk because my mouth starts to water because I get hungry thinking about the foods I ate. And I literally just ate this about 16 hours ago. So these are digestive biscuits. These are from the UK, I believe. And these are pretty big for what they are. It is just an alternative to eating a regular cookie, right? And so these are, I guess they call them tea biscuits. Anyway, 2 of them are 140 calories. I ended up eating way more than that. I just got into this mode where I was like, oh, these are so good. And then I ended up eating 8 of them. But even eating 8 of them ended up only being 560 calories. And I think it was 8 grams of protein. And that was pretty much my refeed. I have the stats here, just if you need to know. All of that I ate was 2,855 calories. So I stayed under my 3,000 calorie goal. And that was altogether 203 grams of protein. I finished that refeed in an hour and 48 minutes. So ate about 3,000 calories or 2,900 calories, 200 grams of protein in under 2 hours. Andrea says digestives are really good. I'm glad someone's had it. I'm glad that you like it too. Anonymous says, how can you have any pudding when you don't eat your meat? I ate my meat. Didn't you just see me eating it? I just had shrimp and I had lean ground beef. I said it wasn't my favorite, but I ate it. Jack says raging carb and sugar addiction. I mean, everyone is a critic and everyone has their idea of how I should eat. And if you think I'm going to eat 100% clean my entire life, that's not going to be a thing. It's not going to happen. Doesn't mean you can't. I mean, maybe you should film yourself eating every single meal and see how clean you eat all the time. Just saying. Just saying. Again, this is why it's really important to eat the way you do. That can be sustainable for you. That can be consistent because honestly, at the end of the day, That's what's going to be important. For me, the only thing that matters is that my blood work is in check. My type 2 diabetes is, it's a Pink Floyd reference. Oh, I didn't know. I have no idea. I don't listen to Pink Floyd. Anyway, that my blood work is in check, that my numbers are optimal, and that my weight is down, and that I'm feeling good. So that's pretty much what I refed with. So let's go back into the stats. That is not the stats. These are the stats. So again, what I do is more than just fasting, right? This is a combination of fasting and being a lot more mindful of my eating and cardio and strength training and even sleep and feeling good mentally, right? So just to share again what this looks like, over the last week, a little over a week at this point, I have lost almost 18 pounds in 8 days. My average refeed time is 3 hours and 22 minutes. My average calories per refeed lately have been right at around 2,600. And my average protein per refeed, almost 200 grams of protein per refeed. Why do I eat so much protein on my refeeds? Number one, because protein helps me feel a lot more satiated. Protein also has that thermic effect, meaning that your body actually burns more calories digesting protein versus carbs and fat. And I like to lift weights every other day, and it's really helpful for me when it comes to strength training. So my goals are different than what yours will be. I usually give myself 190 grams of protein to eat after every refeed if I'm going to be eating 3,000 calories. And I think that's pretty much what my goals are for that. So let's talk about refeed weight. So like I said, yesterday I weighed in at 152 pounds. And then today I was 155.6 pounds. I gained 3.6 pounds on that refeed after yesterday's refeed. So just so you see what this looks like, if you look at where I gained 4.4 pounds, that was after my second day of binging. So my weight just really pushed up over the last couple of weeks because I was just kind of mindlessly eating for a while. You'll see after the first refeed, after doing a 43-hour fast, I actually lost weight because I was literally eating like 20,000, maybe 15,000 to 20,000 calories is my guess in a day. But then when I got back into my 40-ish hour fasts, these refeeds are 2.2 pounds, 2.6 pounds, 3.6 pounds. But look, even though I'm gaining 2 to 3 pounds, maybe even close to 4 pounds after every refeed, just take a look at the refeed weight dropping every single time, right? 160 to 158 to 156.4 to 155.6 today. And to me, that's always a good sign because even though I gain weight after a refeed, I'm still dropping weight overall, which means tomorrow, hopefully, when I weigh in again after being 40-ish hours fasted, I will hit another newer low from where I initially started. Maggie asks, I've noticed that every time I fast, then take a break and fast again, I don't lose as much or as fast as I did the last time around. Do you experience that? So every time you fast, take a break and fast again, I don't lose as much or as fast as I did the last time around. Yeah. I mean, that's and actually I had a slide for that yesterday. I don't know if I have that slide right now. Yeah, I do. Actually, I was going to share that in a bit, but we can look at this here. So I've been fasting every other day. when I first finished my 43-hour fast, I lost almost 8 pounds, but that was coming off of a binge. And then 6 pounds, and then 2 pounds. And then the other day or yesterday, I lost 1.8 pounds. And here's the thing, tomorrow when I weigh in, I'm probably going to lose less than 2 pounds, is my guess. I mean, it could be more, but that number is going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. I'm not going to lose as much as I did before, but I wouldn't worry so much about what the scale says versus just making sure that you're putting yourself at a caloric deficit to afford yourself to lose actual fat week after week. I mean, I think that's really the important part here. That's why it's really important to not worry about what the scale says every single day and be a lot more cognizant of, are you making sure that you're putting yourself at a deficit week over week? Let me get back to a couple other or my other slides here. Someone somewhere in 1984 says, I think they were quoting song lyrics, Pink Floyd. Yes, they were. I didn't know. I had no idea. I've never listened to Pink Floyd, so I had no idea. I thought somebody was referencing something, or not referencing. I thought somebody was making a comment and I had no idea what it was about. So, okay. So let me see here. Where was I at? Is this the right slide? Refeed weight. Actually, those were my slides. Okay. So, there we go. It might be a shorter live stream today because, again, these live streams aren't always going to be super long. Some of these live streams are going to be shorter because they're just daily accountable check-ins for me. But before we kind of wrap things up, I want to do Q&A. So feel free to ask questions and I will try to answer what I can, but we'll do fit check as well. I do fit check every time because I want to make sure that I'm transparent about where I'm at and what I'm doing. Luckily, I'm wearing this Cubs jersey, and this Cubs jersey is actually a youth large, which is like a size 14 to 16. And jerseys usually come in a lot bigger. So this fits me pretty loosely, but we'll do fit check. Right. And again, this is coming off of a refeed yesterday, and I'm up 3.5 pounds. So I'm currently 155.6. Front shot, side shot, rear, side. See the 23? That's Ryan. That's Rhino. Anyway, that's fit check. Okay, so before I answer questions, I'll just bring this up like I always do. If you are looking for help when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to fasting, when it comes to accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner, I know I work as a coach, but I mean, let's be real. I am also your partner in this. We are doing this together. One of the things that I like people to remember is you're not alone when we do this. So if you're looking for help when it comes to that, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can check it out. I mean, you will check it out if you go there, but you can book a session. We can talk one-on-one, just like I'm talking right now, except it's just you and me. We can put a plan and a strategy together. You can also check the site out. I do offer merch. I do have stickers. I like this one a lot. This is my favorite one. And like I said, I do offer merch, even if you want a hat like this one. So feel free to check it out. Okay, let me get back into, oh, there we go. Let me see if there's any other questions I missed prior. Oh, Jack asked earlier. Hey, Jerome, do you ever have the feeling of satiety when you eat? Yeah. When I eat, I had the feeling of satiety yesterday. I had the feeling of satiety when I was eating my 5 or 6,000 calorie refeeds. Actually, that's how I first started fasting for 90 hours because I would eat until satiety and then I'd be like, okay, time to fast. So, yeah, this isn't a question, but Uso Squad says, I think on my next refeed, I'll use sugar-free banana cream pudding mix. I've tried that. It's actually really good with slices of banana in there. You'll have to let me know if you try or if you like it. Andreas asks, do you take electrolytes before you start the fast? I don't. I don't take electrolytes at all. I will say when I have my refeeds, I make sure my refeeds are there's sodium in it. I make sure I eat foods that are higher in magnesium and I eat foods that well, I use something called no salt, which is a potassium. It's pretty much a salt substitute, but it's literally pure potassium. So I make sure I get my electrolytes in there. Oh my goodness. Tommy, Tommy with a $20 Canadian donation, $20 Canadian. Right. That's right. That's how I say it. 20 Canadian dollars. Tommy, thank you so much for the support. Tommy, I see you all the time in my comments and I hope you know I read through everyone's comments. I always do. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate you sharing your story and how things are going for you. So thank you. It's and you know, I don't see you on the Sunday night evening live. So maybe these times might be good for you. Tommy, thank you so much for a generous donation. Tommy just says, hello, Jerome. Have a great Thursday. You as well, Tommy. Thank you again. Thank you for the support. Thank you for showing up and sharing your story with me and others as well. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me scroll back up here. That was very unexpected. Thank you for such a generous donation. Uso Squad says, what's the longest single fast you've done? 11 days. 11 days is my longest fast. That's been a while though. And the last time I've done anything that was about 7 days was maybe about a year ago. But I haven't done even just a 65-hour fast in a minute. Thanks for the question. Alexandra says, do you find that you lose more weight water fasting or dirty fasting? For example, cream and coffee or Diet Coke. Have you ever dry fasted? So let me see if I can break these down for you. I lose more weight water fasting, period. Dirty fasting, if I do dirty fasting, I don't do things with calories in it. I have never fasted where I'm putting calories in. All my fasts that I do are 0 calorie. But yes, there are occasions when I drink a Diet Coke or a black coffee, an iced coffee, an unsweetened tea. So if you want to call that dirty fasting, I mean, however you want to define it, but those are things I have pretty much iced coffee every day. I would say 99% of the time, 7 times a week, I drink an iced coffee. It's black. I don't put anything else in it, but I still lose. When I lost 80 pounds in 5 months, when I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months, that was done with the occasional Coke Zero or Diet Coke or Diet Dr. Pepper or an iced coffee or an unsweetened tea or a LaCroix or a seltzer water or whatever other 0 calorie drinks are out there. So Yanit says, can women fast before their cycle? I mean, I have coached a lot of women and really the answer to this is it's going to be dependent on you. Have women I coached fast before their cycle? They have. Some don't. Some approach it differently. Some modify their fasts and actually have calories in it. Some won't do any fasting at all and will and do maintenance calories or do maintenance calories plus 200 calories on top of it or plus 500 calories if they feel satiated. Here's the thing, Janet, is like I said, everyone's journey is different. You won't know what works until you try it, until you get that data down and maybe write down how you're feeling. And that's why when I work with anyone and we work together, I always give everyone a spreadsheet. I give them a place where they can put data down and they can log things and see how they're feeling and where they're at, because that's kind of how you learn. And you realize, okay, this works for me, this doesn't. If I eat this way, I get better results. If I eat this other way, I don't. So you'll have to maybe keep us posted, Janet. I appreciate the question. Birdie says, off topic for this live, but please add this week's tab to the Autophagy spreadsheet. I will do that after this live stream. Thank you, Birdie, for the reminder. And again, actually, I forgot to say that if any of you are interested in being part of the Wednesday night live streams, if you are part of the Finally Fasting fam, again, you can hit that join button, and there is an Autophagy tier. We have Wednesday night live streams. We have a communal group coaching session. We have a communal spreadsheet where we all put our goals down and we all talk about if we've been able to achieve them or what we're struggling with. So again, please feel free to check that out. You can hit the join button, or I think there is a link in the description for that. Uso Squad, thanks for that. Uso Squad says, been promoting you to friends and family that struggle with their weight. What would be the best video of yours to send their way to help kickstart their journeys? I do have a playlist called Fasting for Beginners, so maybe that might be helpful for them. I mean, if you're trying to get them to look into using fasting as a tool, there is a playlist called Fasting for Beginners. So maybe that might be helpful for them, Uso. Rosa Marie says, do you ever experience fasting, quote unquote, symptoms during days 1 or 2 of your fast? So when you say symptoms, I'm guessing you're talking about headaches or nausea or weakness. And these are things I experienced when I first started fasting. Actually, when I left YouTube and I was gone for 2+ years and I came back and I restarted my fasting journey, I did experience some of those symptoms at the very beginning. They pass, especially if you build your fasting muscle. It's helpful sometimes I used to take just a pinch of salt, put it under my tongue, I'd feel better. I would take electrolytes then, right? I don't do them today. I haven't for a while, but I have experienced it in the past. It's not anything I experience at all anymore. Okay, I think that's it. This is a shorter live stream today, but like I said, I do this because I need to be accountable. We're going to do this again tomorrow. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being in chat. Thank you for helping others. I'm guessing this time works pretty well for me, so we'll probably do this again around the same time. So hopefully I'll catch you then. Today I'm fasting. Tomorrow I'm going to be refeeding, and then I'll be sharing with you all where my weight is at and how I'm feeling. And you know the drill. You know how it works. So, all right, everyone, thanks again so much. Keep doing what you're doing. If accountability is important to you, show up tomorrow. Keep letting us know how you're doing, whether it's good or bad. I think showing up, practicing imperfect consistency is truly what matters. All right, I'll see you all soon. Take care.